What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Overwrite podcast, a video game podcast hosted by me, Gage Edwards. And also joining me remotely this week, well, I guess I'm the remote one this week. I'm the one out here in the middle of nowhere, is the best, worst gamer in all of video games. His name is Nine.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Are you talking to them or to me?
Well, you too, I guess. How you doing, Gage?
I've seen these four walls. I've grown to know them very well.
Same. I've been home since Tuesday.
It's weird for anyone who doesn't know us in our personal lives. It's weird that we're both on quarantine for different reasons at kind of the same time.
Yeah, it's really random.
Yeah, I didn't expect. When I told you I had to quarantine, you were like, "I'm already doing it." I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was going on."
Yeah, today was my last day. That's why I wasn't worried about anything.
I'm hoping to get results back either tomorrow or Wednesday for my test.
Good.
Ugh.
I did not have to get a test, thankfully.
Really?
Yeah.
It's somebody came to my house feeling sick, didn't think anything of it. A couple days go by, someone texted me, "Hey, that person that was at your house has COVID." I was like, "Oh, great." And I was like, "What about everybody else?" They're like, "Well, her boyfriend who lives with her also has it. And then someone else is getting tested that you know." I was like, "Oh, great. Why am I the last one to find out?" I found out like 3 days after all this was positive. why did you guys wait? And I found out from someone who wasn't even a part of the group. So I was like, "Wait, you weren't even here. How do you know about it all? What the fuck happened?" So then I went and got tested. And then finally someone from that group was like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know, I tested positive and I was at your house this day, and I'm pretty sure I contacted it that day." I was like, "Yeah, I know you have it. Everyone knows you have it. I was the last one to found out you have it. It was at my house. Why didn't you tell me?"
Right? Like, that's pretty important stuff right there.
Right. So I went and got tested. So now I'm hoping that comes back clean. And it only took me 2 tries to get the Q-tip to stay in my nostril without it tipping my face off. It sucked.
Ugh. Terrible.
I've got such a ticklish nose. Like, I'm not ticklish.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Alexa, stop listening. What are you doing? It's like, Alexa, stop listening. Like, I have a ticklish nose, so when the Q-tip went in, I'm like, this thing has to come out immediately. I'm smiling and laughing too much. She's like, "Relax your face," and I'm like, I got the fucking Q-tip halfway up my fucking nose. I was supposed to relax my face.
You can't. It's not.
Can't. It's impossible.
So I'm glad I got the other test.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's how my weekend went.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, it just put me closer. I mean, I was gonna be at home, playing video games anyway, so it didn't change my plans too much.
Yeah. I ended up reflooring the entire upstairs.
Well, your quarantine's a little more productive than mine.
Yeah. So the whole foyer-way has been refloored. The kitchen, the dining room, all new floors.
Hell yeah.
That's what I've done for the past week. But I get to go back to work tomorrow, so I'll be excited to see that shit show.
Like, I hope I get quarantine again, please.
No. No. I'm good. I'd rather be at work.
That's what I hear. Everybody's like, "Yeah, I'm tired of being stuck at home." I'm like, I kind of love it.
You would.
I kind of love it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could do this all day long, every day, that'd be great. Be stuck at home every day. I'd love it. Be fantastic. But
Life doesn't work out that way.
no, it doesn't. Especially not for me.
Well, anyway, I guess we should get into the video game portion of
Yeah,
the show.
so what are we-
start talking
what-
about our personal lives.
Tell the people what we're discussing tonight, Gage.
Tonight, as you know, it is the first episode since we've had our hands on next-gen consoles.
Yeah.
I guess they're current gen now. New gen.
I was going to say it's current gen.
Yeah, they're here
New gen.
with us.
I like new gen.
Before we get into the topics, I will remind everybody that this is a show that's recorded live on twitch.tv/birdcage_gaming about 9:30 p.m.-ish on the East Coast. Check us out there for the live show. If you're not into the live thing, it's totally cool. Don't have to be here live. If you are here live, you're here with the early gang, get to talk shit about other people. That's what we do. So be here to make sure it's not you. But if you like the later show, of course, you can get the show on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, all of your podcasting services. You can get the show there as well.
Very searchable.
What's that?
Says we're very searchable.
Very searchable. You can also subscribe to the show. We've been affiliates for about a month now, and things are going really well. We're about 8 subscribers off of our next goal for another emote. which
It
we
took
haven't
us
decided
5.
what that's going to be.
We still haven't figured out what the 4th one's going to be.
Haven't figured it out. Still thinking of stuff. Still deciding. Still being lazy when it comes to emotes. But we will figure it out. Especially if we have like an extra slot. Like if we could get 8 and have 2 slots that we deal with, I think we could pick a good one and one we're not sure about and just stick and live with it. You know what I mean?
Just be done.
Doesn't make the decision as difficult
No.
if we have an open spot. But that's the only promotion I'll do there. So 9, usually we start the show by a what you playing segment.
Yeah.
But this week is all about what you playing and
right.
what we've got our hands on and everything that's been going on in the video game world.
Sorry.
Yeah, PlayStation 4 controller.
That was not a PlayStation 4 controller.
PlayStation 5 controller. Here's mine. It's charging because I played it so much yesterday.
Mine finished charging this morning.
I guess. Do you want to start with the Xbox side of things? Or
Sure, because you're the only one that's had experience with the Xbox. Because I was hoping
In
that
the
you were
world,
going to be here tonight, and you could have brought it over, and we could have played with it a little bit here, so I could see it and get used to it. I especially want to see that new controller and feel the new controller. But go ahead and start with the Xbox side of things.
Well, right now it's dipped in Lysol. So luckily this thing wasn't here when all that madness happened. Anyway, the Xbox Series X is what I've got my hands on.
Yeah.
Don't have a Series S. I didn't go for both. Didn't see the neat reason to have both yet. I will have both eventually because I'm a fucking. I have no.
You're insane.
Will. Yeah, I have to buy it. The Xbox Series X.
First impressions.
First impressions is it's smaller than I thought it was. Like it's more compact than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Feels like everything in there is packed pretty tight for even how big it is compared to the smaller one, the Series S. I like the look of it. I like how it stands. I didn't lay down. I don't have room for that because I've got too much shit. It's just the truth. It's an. Oh my god, are you? Okay?
Just like died,
Jesus
dude.
Christ!
God damn, that was
glad I'm
terrible.
not sitting there.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, that would be all over you.
So,
You would definitely have COVID now.
I might have it anyway.
You might have it anyway.
Right. It would just have been reflected off. I like the box, like the console, like the box that comes in. It's packed in well. I think it's one of the best, like, packed in consoles ever with how the box opens.
Yeah.
Not much else to say about the console. But it's an Xbox. I mean, it turns on fine. I got the hard drive that slips in the back. That's easy to plug in.
You did get another hard drive with it?
Yeah, I got the SSD, the proprietary one.
You paid another $200 for that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
It was there.
It was there.
The magic words that happened to me when I picked it up, someone was like, "It's the last one we have." So I said, "Okay." If it's the last one you got, I'll take it. And I have it.
God damn it.
So, Marzi in chat says a lot of people expected the Xbox to be bigger and the PS5 to be lighter. I expected the Xbox to be bigger. I didn't expect the PS5 to be. It's as heavy as I expected it to be. It's a fucking monster.
It's huge. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
And it's obtuse and weird to put places.
Ugly as sin.
I had to go, on top of buying this stuff, I had to go buy another fucking table to put it on. I couldn't fit it anywhere. I had zero room. I had to go buy a fucking table.
I had to shift all of my consoles over so I could I was hoping to stand it up, but I had to lay mine down.
Mine standing.
And honestly, I think it would look better standing up than it does laying down. Because it looks wonky as shit laying down. That or I don't have my stand on right, which might be a possibility too.
Like Will Smith would jump out of this running from robots.
Yeah. They do have
anyway, the
Astrobot.
Xbox.
What's up,
the
Mr.
Xbox
J Star?
controller. How's it going, J Star? The Xbox controller, the new one, it's great. I like it a lot better than the original Xbox controllers that came out. With the first console of the Xbox One, the later ones, I think it's totally improved. I haven't used it too much because, of course, I have the Elite controller, so that's the one I'm using. But the new Xbox One controller, it's great. It's really clicky, which I like in a controller. It's not like how those soft bumpers with the original Xbox One controllers were, which were terrible.
Yeah.
The D-pad's nice. It works well. I think it's a great controller. I think it's just subtle improvements on a controller that was already one of the best on the market. But, I mean, I'm still using the Elite over it because it's the Elite controller. Don't fucking twist your face at me over saying the Xbox controller is one of the best on the market. I said one of the best, by the way, not the best. So let's not get crazy.
I don't like that dual stick layout. That's my biggest gripe with it.
Oh, it's better than having my fucking thumbs clashed together on the old PlayStation controllers. Are you kidding?
Nah.
At least this
fine.
new PlayStation controller's got like fucking property or fucking real estate between the two of the thumbsticks, so I can fucking have my hands. I can do invert sticks without crashing my thumbs together. You know?
No, because I never had that problem.
Get bigger thumbs. Be a thumb boy.
Oh, that's just no.
Yeah, you have nothing for that. So that's my impression of the box.
I know we were ranking.
Outers.
I know we were ranking boxes now.
Yeah, well, you asked about it. I guess to get into like the rest of it, turning the thing I was afraid of the most with the new gen consoles is that a lot of the games that were going to play on them were going to be available on other consoles.
Right.
And playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the Xbox Series X, immediately felt like a next gen experience.
Yeah.
And I was so happy with it. I think just the biggest improvement was just having games on Xbox that are locked. Even on the Xbox One X, it seemed to be few and far between. But games that were just locked at 60 frames per second, and seeing an Ubisoft title, a third-party title, with the main menu supposed to be running in 60 frames per second in 4K, actually being in 4K, 60 frames per second, I was like, this is already worlds better. This is already fantastic.
Right.
Thank you for having this power. Thank you. And now I'm playing. I have to switch if I want to play 120 frames per second. I gotta switch my monitors over to my PC monitors. I'm playing Call of Duty Warzone on 120 frames per second.
Which they snuck in there.
Yeah, which is great. I like it a lot.
They didn't do it for PS5. They just did it for Xbox Series X.
Whatever. Maybe it can't run it on PS5. Who knows?
I bet it can.
But anyway, it's awesome. It works so well. Call of Duty Warzone was one of the jankiest games I was playing the most, and now all that jank's gone. It's fucking great. I'm so happy. It's like, you remember in the movie Forrest Gump when he got those braces off his legs?
Yeah, and he just ran.
That's me with Warzone now. They took the restraints off, and I'm just fucking rearing to go. I'm playing way better in Warzone now that I'm not janking around.
Right.
I will say, and we'll get into the video games, but Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, gonna have to give you an update on that.
Well, we'll get into that in a little bit then.
Margie says in the chat, I think the Xbox was received better and didn't have as many issues that she knows of as the PS5. I will say,
there are some issues with the Xbox. Not as many as the PS5.
The HDMI cord that came with my Xbox Series X was broken.
The HDMI cord was broken?
The HDMI cord's totally broken.
How? What was wrong with it?
So I plugged in another HDMI, and I know it's the HDMI cord. I tried a few different things. I know it's the HDMI cord because I plugged it. I used another HDMI cord that was prorated the same as like whatever's coming with the Series X.
2.1.
Right. Yeah. I was looking at the HDMI, and people are like, they don't prorate them by that. They prorate. And I'm like, whatever. You guys are nerds about HDMI cords. I'm not getting into it. Plugged it in the console, works like a dream. The original HDMI cord that came with my console, however, was cutting video out every like 5 minutes. So it would just go to a black screen and do fuzz and then go back to the game. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Please don't tell me this is the console. I'm going to freak out. It better be a Warzone problem. I'm going to freak out. And then I changed my HDMI cords and it worked fine.
Well, that's good. Glad you guys sorted it out.
Yeah, so now I was like, people are like, oh, go get it replaced. I'm like, I'm not voiding my fucking warranty over a $6 HDMI cable. It's not happening. Just deal with it. I have other HDMI cords. I have more HDMI cords than I know what to fucking do with. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem I've run into. I haven't run into any problems with my PlayStation 5 yet, but we aren't talking about that console yet, so we won't get there. Mr. J Star, you should play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's very good. Yeah, Marzi, getting a new HDMI cord was the best scenario. So I'm glad I had one laying around because I have now just a Xbox One X box just sitting there, plugged in, not ready to go for anything though. Poor feller.
Poor feller.
I guess, do you want to talk games?
Yeah, let's talk some games.
So there are. I didn't have time for every game I wanted to get to for my Xbox Series X.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to get a Xbox Series X game early, but I haven't been able to play it yet because I do not have the time. But I have been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I have been playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I was actually playing that before we got on here, trying to test out different modes. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a great game.
What's wrong with it? Because I can hear the butt coming.
It's not so much what's wrong with it. It's more along the lines of none of this feels like Assassin's Creed anymore. And I'm not just talking about Valhalla. I'm talking about since they rebranded what Assassin's Creed is and how they revamped the series, right?
Right.
So
since Origins, was it Origins that redid it?
Origins was the first one. When they got into Origins, they got into more of the RPG modes or role. They got into more of the games that felt like The Witcher and things like that. I thought it was fresh and it was welcome, and I was cool with it. When they did Odyssey, they kind of took that same idea and ramped it up a bit, and so they gave us more to do, a bigger world, two characters and things, and it was still story driven, but at the same time, it was kind of daunting.
Right.
Now with Valhalla, they've scaled that back, but they try to put more of the Assassin's Creed roles in it, but it's still like the gameplay that is borrowed from the story and the time period they're in doesn't really lend itself to like the purest Assassin's Creed franchise that we know. Like I've played all of them, right? I've played them all. I love the early ones. 2 is my favorite. Brotherhood's also great. 4 is amazing too, except for the boats.
Except for the boats. Gage has a thing against boats.
Like this game could just be called Valhalla, and I bet it would just be as well received. Like it doesn't have to be an Assassin's Creed game. It doesn't. It honestly, playing it doesn't really feel like an Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
If it didn't have like the Assassin's Creed logos or like the anime stuff or whatever,
you'd be fine with it just being a Viking RPG.
It honestly could just be a Viking game. Like this could have been an original story about Vikings, and I think it would have been fine. I think people would have loved it.
Right.
And people like it now anyway. I think it's reviewing well, but I'm not seeing like the Assassin's Creed spin on it that I wish it had. Like, and I'm still early into it. I'm not like crazy late in the game or anything. There's stealth elements, but like stealth isn't the core of the game anymore, like it used to be with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, because Assassins are generally sneaky guys, and then Vikings are definitely not sneaky guys. They're
rape,
pillage, and murder.
That was the thing. There's like part of the game is raiding villages, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like Assassin's Creed to me. When old Assassin's Creed games that I liked about the stealth thing was I could walk in a group of people, or I could sneak in something and hide in stuff while people walk by me and just take out the key enemies of this base, or just the one enemy, or everyone if I was being crazy.
Right.
And that was the game. Yeah. And now it's like you're a Viking, you got big axes, and you can brutalize people and just be stronger than other people. Like it's not Assassin's Creed to me. Where is it? Yeah. It almost feels like Ubisoft is making games, like they're just making games that they think would be cool, and when they get to a certain part in development, they turn it into an Assassin's Creed game or a Watch Dogs game or a Tom Clancy game, right? It's like how they make Cloverfield movies.
Yeah.
And how sometimes people just start making a Cloverfield movie, and J.J. Abrams is like, I'll buy it if you make it in Cloverfield.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. That's kind of what Assassin's Creed or what Ubisoft feels like they're doing with their games.
Yeah.
Like, this Viking game is a really cool idea. Why don't we just make it Assassin's Creed?
You know how we can sell this game? Slap Assassin's Creed on it.
Yeah, we'll just call it Valhalla, which we want to do, and we'll put Assassin's Creed on the front, put the Assassin's Creed logo there, and we'll make it an animus thing. Yeah, we'll have another team develop the real world stuff, and you guys will figure it out. Right. So that's the downside of it. If I'm purchasing this game as any other just like open world RPG, totally cool. I think it's great.
But past that, you're not thrilled.
Yeah. It's got great gameplay.
I mean, that's fair.
I think the traversal system in this one actually feels fixed. And compared to other Assassin's Creed games where it's like, why can't I climb that? Or why am I climbing this? Stop it. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, this one actually feels like I have control over where I'm going most of the time. So
okay,
a big step up that way.
That's good.
So I like the game fine.
Everybody I talk to seems to be enjoying it, just not on the level like you're talking. Like they're not, man, this feels like a great Assassin's Creed game. They're saying the same kind of things. They're like, this is a cool Viking game, this is a cool RPG, but I want more Assassin's Creed type stuff.
Yeah, and so do I. I want to be sneaky. I still want to be, for the Brotherhood of Assassin's Creed, in that lineage and things like that, and just It's not there as much as I want it to be.
Right.
You know, if they could just recreate 2 or Brotherhood, be fine. I guess I could buy the Ezio collection on Xbox or PlayStation, but
It's not worth. It's not worth
it's not worth it. I mean, those games are fun. I'm just not gonna go play them again.
Right.
So that's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Anyone chat,
What's
feel free to
that?
ask questions. But I'm gonna move on to another game that I've been playing. Unless you have questions about Assassin's Creed.
No, I watched you play. I'm good.
Oh,
I've been watching Joey play too, so he's really liking it.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, he's really liking it.
It's good. I
That's-
mean, again, I think it's a great game. I think it's a solid 8. But I just don't. I think as Assassin's Creed game goes, it doesn't feel like one.
Right.
So, I wish I could change that up.
Well, there's time.
Just let me be sneaky. Let me pay off like the town's children to go distract someone while I kill someone else. You know what I mean? Let
Yeah.
me party with Da Vinci some more, please.
That's all you really want to do.
That's all I really want to do. Give me weird Da Vinci inventions. Dimensions, as they could say.
Dimensions.
And yeah, a sneaky Viking. Yeah, I don't know about that. Also, the side mission stuff, not side missions, but like extracurricular activities you can do, like the flighting, the Viking rap battles, the dice. You can also there's just mini games to get drunk faster than the other person. Again, it's cool for a Viking game. It
guess.
doesn't weigh in on anything else though.
Yeah, right.
I have also been playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on my Xbox Series X.
The campaign or
So far, I've played campaign and zombies. I haven't
Okay.
touched multiplayer.
okay.
I usually reserve that till I'm done with the campaign.
Yeah, same.
But I have a friend who's like stupid good at playing zombies, so he invited me, and I was playing that today with him. Got to like level 36, and then the game crashed.
The game crashed.
Now
This is not the first time that I've heard this happening.
Now, ask me how many times I've played zombies, and how many times the game has ended because I've died or the game has crashed.
How many times have you played zombies, and how many times have you ended it because you died or it crashed?
I've only ended a zombies game one time by dying.
How many times by crashing?
Maybe 4 times. And I've
That's
only
bad.
played it today.
That's
I've
bad.
only played it. It's bad. Only one day. The campaign runs fine, and I haven't seen any hiccups with that. Anything else that you do
Mhm.
is jarring and unfinished and janky, and like the Call of Duty servers do not hold up well for whatever reason. It runs. It's like it doesn't even feel like it's optimized for the Series X, the Series X version, because people are having problems running the Xbox One version on their Series X because you're not supposed to, but the game sometimes downloads that way. Same does on the PlayStation. PlayStation 5 sometimes wants to download the PlayStation 4 version of your game and fucks it up. So make sure you have the right one downloaded. I've got the right one downloaded. It runs my Xbox hotter than any other game does.
Yeah.
It skips out more than any other game does. There's connection issues more with it than any other game on my Xbox Series X. I've played a few older games on it.
Mhm.
It does not run well whatsoever. This
Yeah,
game, what's that?
I've heard that this game is bricking consoles as well.
Yeah, it's
Like
it
just
is
straight up
definitely causing-
destroying consoles.
It's I've seen a lot of consoles being turned off by it. And I was talking to my friend who's good at zombies, and he was like, "Yeah, this happens a lot. Like, there's a lot of times where the game just freezes. Like, there's a power up in zombies that's called Fire Sale, and it makes things cheaper. Every time he picks it up, crashes the console. Like, it just triggers the console shutdown." I'm like, "What the fuck? How can you make a game like this?" So that just leads me to believe that this game is. Whatever happened with like Sledgehammer's Call of Duty that was supposed to be out this year, why it got delayed, whatever, this one getting rushed to the front of the line, like this feels like a game that was shipped incomplete. Like I know a lot of people start that around like, "Oh, finish your games, whatever." This actually feels like a game that was
Rushed
broken
to sell.
yeah, it just was rushed to get out for the holiday. It could have benefited from a delay, but yeah, this
They wanted that launch title sale.
yeah,
that's what they wanted.
exactly. And yeah, of course, the holidays are coming up too. But like,
Mhm.
this definitely feels like a game that needed more development time. And I haven't even
Yeah.
touched the multiplayer, which a lot of people are saying most of the problems of the game are in the multiplayer.
So they might just avoid it altogether.
I would definitely say wait on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War unless you really want to get into the campaign. Campaign has been solid for me.
That's all I want to play is a campaign.
It's good so far. I like the characters. I really like it's developed well. The characters all look great. The action's fun. It's old, Call of Duty set pieces that are just batshit for no reason sometimes, and it's just like wow, this feels like a Call of Duty campaign, and I like it. I like the Call of Duty campaigns, even though they're
Wildly
sometimes,
insane some days.
Yeah, push weird agendas, whatever. But I really like this one because it does play in on the conspiracy stuff. Mason's back. It's the sequel to the first one, so there is that in there. There is like historical figures doing bad shit, and you're like, whoa, everyone knows this guy's like a cool dude, and this guy's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's cool stuff, and there's there's this, it's doing something different. There's side missions in the game, but you can only start the side missions when you have enough intel from the other missions, which is neat. So you have to like actually complete like optional objectives inside the real missions to find more evidence to try and deduce who you're looking for in the side ops.
That's kind of cool.
Do those. It's cool. It's like it's because it's Cold War stuff. You're decoding all these codes, right?
And it adds a bit of depth to a first person shooter that's like strictly a first person shooter. Right. It's not like Borderlands where it's an RPG underlying with all this other stuff, or something else where there's other mechanics to it. It's just strictly a first person shooter. So this is their way of adding to that.
Giving more stuff.
Rather than just shoot everything that moves and hope to win.
What I was thinking about? Call of Duty campaigns kind of play like, except your character can move obviously. And you remember those old House of the Dead arcade games where people just show up in front of you?
Yeah.
And that's like a Call of Duty campaign, except you can move in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You get into a room, guys come in the room, and they just they're behind stuff and they peek over and stuff.
Yep.
And they advance on you. It just feels like House of the Dead.
Yep.
I made that realization. I was like, I'm the smartest man alive.
Oh, let's not get carried away here.
No one's ever thought of this before. This one video game type. No one's ever thought of it.
Yep. What else you been playing?
Well, that's really it for the Xbox.
For the Xbox, that's it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of I've been playing Warzone and stuff, so going back to a game that's...
Now, Warzone's still running out of Modern Warfare, though, right?
I mean, I downloaded just the Warzone app. I haven't actually put the Modern Warfare disc in the console to download it. But I've downloaded a bunch of games on there that I want to try. But other stuff on the PlayStation has been taking up a lot of my time, which we'll get into here in a second. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, here's the problem I'm having again is just the storage on these new consoles.
Yeah.
I can't. It's just crazy to me that these only launched at terabyte hard drives.
Yeah. Not even a terabyte on the PlayStation.
Right.
825
gigs or whatever.
With 600 and some usable.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's
bizarre to me.
I don't like it.
Because on my One X, I was running 5-6 terabytes or whatever with my external. Yeah. Things were fine. And then when I just started downloading 4 games on my Series X because of high resolution packs or high fidelity installs that you want to do, to have it the next gen upgrades for the games. Mm-hmm. They're massive now. How can Microsoft and Sony be 1 terabyte's fine? The games aren't that big. They're fucking huge. Games are fucking huge.
Well, I think part of the problem is they couldn't do too much more because of the cost of the hard drives. If they put a 2 terabyte in there, it would have bumped the consoles up another $100. And nobody was. I mean, look at what happened PS3 when they were $600. You know what I mean? Didn't do well because $600 is a lot to drop on a console.
You don't think that these companies could even work out something with whoever they're getting hard drives from and just taking a little bit more of a loss just for another terabyte?
Probably, because that stuff's not cheap. So to give you an example, even just regular PC hard drives that run off the same technology, a 500 terabytes. Holy shit, I'd love that. No, a 500 gigabyte one that I just put in my new computer was $90. That's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
And that's regular. Right. That's regular standard NVMe stuff. That's not proprietary stuff like Microsoft and Xbox or Microsoft and Sony are doing.
I guess I am forgetting the part that they're SSDs.
Yeah, they're not conventional hard drives where it's a disk and moving parts. It's dumb fast hard drives. I'm worried that now that I have both consoles, a year from now, here's the Xbox Series X. That's $500. It's 2 terabytes. You motherfuckers. I know they'll do it. It probably would.
Mm-hmm. I know they'll fucking do it.
Chat's got some questions in there.
Yeah, you want to read some?
Yeah, so one said, Mr. J-Star is asking, what am I having issues with the new releases in gaming? What bothers me? I don't really have a good answer for that one. New releases.
You've been playing the PlayStation 5 mostly,
Yeah.
So we'll get to I'm sure you'll have some kind of gripes somewhere.
Yeah, but mostly what gripes me about new releases is like you were saying with Black Ops, it just rushed release
Sure.
rather than finesse it. I hate when companies do that because then it's a bad user experience, and ultimately it ends up in a bad situation for the developers too. Paints a bad picture, all that jazz.
So if for rushed games, we know rushed games are bad. We talk about them constantly.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
We hate them.
2 rushed games that come to my mind that were pushed out for various reasons that we don't have confirmations of, but we can make pretty good assumptions. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, I think, was a rushed game.
Mhm.
Whether or not they'll say they're not, whatever. Marvel's Avengers, dead game now. No one's playing anymore.
Nope.
Definitely a rushed game, and that seems to be based on Square Enix when it hit, sales for this quarter, didn't want to go through any more delays with the game.
They ended up losing a lot of money.
Of course, yeah, they wanted to make investors happy. However, the install base for people buying that game, very small. Didn't sell well.
Didn't look good.
Yeah, it's a bad game. I try to tell everybody that it's a bad game.
Maybe they listened.
Do these companies like Square Enix and Activision actually care what we think?
No.
Right?
They care about
just
that
don't.
back end investor, and that's it.
Right? They get that initial bump in whatever sales they have. Cool, but would they tell Crystal Dynamics to develop a game that makes fans happy, or tell them to make games that make money?
Tell them to make games that make them money.
100%.
They don't care about us. They never have, and they never will.
What they need is just a few whales to like the game, to buy all the shit they put in there. The Marvel's Avengers cosmetics are like $14 a piece for some really bad skins that aren't based on the movies and aren't based on the comics.
No, they're awful.
They're Crystal Dynamics people just reskinning games or costumes and just being like, yeah, that's a new costume. I stayed up last night late reading stuff in the Avengers subreddit, and it's just it is a shit show over there right now. Everybody is just complaining. Nothing's going on. Everyone's mad and pissed at Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics. Somebody bought a costume from the store because it was Black Widow with sunglasses on. Spent all that money for Black Widow with sunglasses. That was the only difference about the skin. And then, after they bought it, Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics removed the sunglasses from the skin because it was an error. So they didn't give this person their money back. They gave them another skin of Black Widow without the glasses, the whole reason he bought the thing. So now he's like, I don't fucking want this, and I can't fucking get a refund on it.
That's shitty.
Right?
That's just bad business. That's bad business.
He bought it, and now he didn't get the thing that he wanted.
Right.
And now he's stuck with it.
Yeah.
Gross. Plus, the game is just awful. It's just
It's a bad game.
repetition game that has 2 enemies in it, whatever.
It's bad. It's just all around bad. Anyway.
Yeah, hey, Mr. J-Star saying he's played the Lego Avengers games in the chat. Those games are way better. Play those
Those games are way better. I have the first one.
You didn't play the second one?
No, I didn't play the second one.
Second one's great.
That's what I hear. First one's great. I really like the first one.
I like them both.
They're Lego games in general are just entertaining.
They've been
Most of the time. Most of the time. There are some not so good ones.
Yeah. I have a few that I haven't played. I've got the Harry Potter ones and I've got the Incredible ones.
The Harry Potter one's really good.
It's like all the movies, right?
Yeah. We have that one. Eli, my kids, they really enjoy that one.
That seems like it's going to take me forever.
It's going to take forever.
I'm waiting on the Skywalker Saga to come out for the Lego games.
The episodes 1 through 6.
They're doing every Star Wars movie.
Oh, they're doing all 9?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
It got delayed. It got pushed into next year, but
Okay.
I'll pick it the fuck up. No problem.
No problem.
Better believe it.
Oh, man. All right. We want to talk about some PlayStation stuff?
I guess, if we have to.
Jerk.
I've been kind of controlling the conversation so far. Do you want to start with your impressions of the PlayStation 5? Just the console and the controller specifically.
Just the console and the controller specifically? Sure.
Yeah.
So, PlayStation, I will say this. Xbox showcased the Series X with their box and display, right? Mm-hmm. It was nice. Mm-hmm. It folds open. It's a half-cut box. It folds open.
Cool.
It's got this laser-etched foam around the thing. It just looks dope when you open it up. PlayStation's just like,
presentation.
Fuck it, throw some cardboard in there and put it in there. That's it. That's literally
what
it.
it was.
That's literally it. It's
It
egg
is,
carton material to pad the console, and they segregated the top section out for the cords and the instruction booklets and the controller.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
It was a sad display, to say the least.
Like, what the fuck is this? It's 2020. Where's my
That's
futuristic
just Sony
bullshit
saying,
back in?
we're going to pack it this way and you're going to like it. Like they do with
that's
everything.
That was annoying where I was like, oh, yeah, cool. I got the cool Xbox Series Xbox. I hope the PlayStation box looks just as cool. No,
No,
doesn't.
no. But that's that. So
You know what? I'm
What's
going to
that?
throw this out there. Do you remember on the PlayStation 4 when it launched, when it had that cool PlayStation tape on it?
Yeah.
The blue tape with the
Yeah.
logos on it?
Yeah.
Where the fuck happened to that tape?
It's not here. It's just a clear circle tape on this one.
Yeah, where's that cool ass tape? That was
They've had
coolest
they've
part
had
of the
that
box
tape
for
on every
PlayStation 4.
box except for this one. This is the first console that didn't have it. They had it on the Vita box, they had it on the PSP box, they had it on the PS2, the PS3, and the PS and the original PlayStation.
You think they just ran out? They're like, well, do we need to order more PlayStation tape? Like, no, it's too expensive. Can't have the PlayStation tape.
Nope, no more PlayStation tape.
They don't really like it anyway. No, I loved it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I have my boxes are behind me. You see this PlayStation box?
All my stuff's right back there
Xbox boxes. Oh, on that side. Yeah.
on that side. Out of focus. Can't see it.
Yep. Can't see
And then so setting it up, I had some issues getting mine set up, but it wasn't the PlayStation's fault. I determined that it was not the PlayStation. It wasn't connected to my internet, and I plugged the LAN cable in, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong?" I plugged this bitch in like 6 times. I've done this 100 times. All I want to do is get my console hooked up to my account. My fucking router came unplugged in the midst of rearranging things.
You're the worst IT person ever.
Well, no, it wasn't the router that came unplugged. It was the cord that runs into the router had come unplugged. And I had like reseated it like 3 times and it still wasn't working. So finally I just ripped the whole thing out and redid the whole thing again. And finally it started working. But I was getting real mad there for a while. And then fumbling around with that stupid ass little plate thing that the console sits on.
Oh, it confused the fuck out of me for a while.
Like you cannot move. If it's laying down, you can't move the console. Like you have to pick the whole thing up to move it. Like,
Really?
yeah, because if you try and move it sitting on that disc, it just falls right off and slides towards you like an avalanche. It's awful. I hate the fucking stand that it came with.
Well, there's not a flat fucking side on this thing. Other than
There's
the
not,
bottom.
and they really should have thought about this. Like they could have flared the one side out to be another stand, so it could sit on the disc drive and a leg on the top side. Would it look weird? Absolutely, but it can't be any uglier than what it already is.
That already looks weird.
It looks so bad, so bad. But yeah, fumbling around with that, getting that to finally seat and stay was a pain in the ass. The controller, still ugly, but I'm really liking it. I
Okay.
really, 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 really like it. And you know, I sent you that text the other day. Like I wasn't sold on it until I started playing games that had the haptic feedback stuff on it. The trigger stuff that they could do and the pressure, it's nuts. Like I hope more companies use this feature.
I hope so too, because it is cool. It's probably the coolest thing I've seen in a controller.
Yeah, but
Other than
hands
being able
down.
to, like, program it. The problem I think it's going to run into might be the same way the
Touchpad.
the touchpad or the Xbox controller was like, yeah, we have rumbles and like the triggers and things, you know,
Yeah, nobody
they'll
used
help
it.
for them. No one uses them except first parties.
Yeah.
So I think this might be a case of first parties using this stuff, which is still fine because I mean,
It does
PlayStation
work
has
with
great
Call of
first-party
Duty.
developers.
It does work
What's
with Call of
that?
Duty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the triggers, the haptic feedback and the triggers are different for every single weapon in Call of Duty. Somebody was
That might-
showcasing it, and it was crazy.
Well, it might make me mad. A lot of players play without rumble on, so
Yeah, but
That's okay.
so benefits to that. PlayStation VR. It'd be more immersive if you're playing a VR game and you're trying to pull the trigger on a gun and there's resistance. It's a more immersive feeling for sure.
yeah.
So the controller is leaps and bounds ahead of everything else PlayStation's ever done.
The PlayStation 5 controller is better than the PlayStation 5.
At this point, yeah, because there's issues coming with the PlayStation 5. the console is ugly, but does it run well? It's very snappy. It's very quick. I press a button to get to the home menu. It comes right up. The new UI is a little confusing.
Okay.
Just in the sense that I'm used to hitting my PlayStation button and having a menu come up that lets me browse through the console versus now I just get a game menu and I have to scroll down and figure out where I want to go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
kind of hate that.
It's kind of jarring for the first few times you do it.
I like on the PlayStation 4 when I hit the PlayStation button, it just takes you home and you can just go to wherever you wanted to go.
Like the Xbox button. Just takes you right back to the dashboard.
This new PlayStation overlay that you get when pushing the button, I'm not excited about because I'm like, where am I? What's going on here?
So I was reading some articles about this, and this seems to be a lot of complaints about it, was the UI when you hit the PS button. They should have done traditional dashboard when you hit the PS button, and long press to pull up that game menu.
Okay.
So right now on the PS4, if you long press it, you get that shortcut menu, which is kind of the similar same thing that they got going on with just pressing the PS button. There is no long press button on the PS5 controller.
Right.
There's no feature for it at all. It just doesn't exist. It's confusing at first, but when you finally figure it out, it's quick, but it's an extra step to get out of a game now.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah. You're just adding stuff in the way. Like before it was so simple, and now it's like, okay, what do I need to click on?
Right. But it is very cool because I can switch between Demon Souls and I can switch between Astro's Playroom on the fly. And it takes me right back to where I was. Now, there is one cool thing that I did find by accident by using that menu. So I was on the dashboard, right? And I was fumbling around, looking at stuff, looking at games and whatnot, trying to figure out what I wanted to download to my console, and I hit the PS button by accident. And I had already shut out, saved and quit out of Demon Souls. So I figured I was done for the time being. And I'm scrolling through there looking at stuff, and I pulled up a card, one of those little, PlayStation cards that comes up for the switcher. And it said play. So I hit the square button to play it. It loaded me right into where the game wanted me to. I didn't have to go to the main menu and select my character. I didn't have to hit continue. It just loaded my character right into the game.
Kind of quick resume stuff.
Yeah, but I quit out of the game.
Interesting.
I wasn't in standby. I had closed the game.
You know that when that'll fuck you up? When your kids get on the PlayStation and jump into your character and start fucking around with stuff. And just instantly load in your character.
It's a good feature, but it's a double-edged sword kind of thing. Kind of like when Xbox introduced the quick buy option on the Xbox store.
Yeah.
People were buying stuff way too often and $17,000 in credit card charges.
Yeah. It's just like Amazon was like, hey, you want just a one-click buy button. That'll never fuck me up.
Yeah, until you're scrolling and you accidentally hit it.
It fucked me up.
Multiple times.
Jumping in the chat real quick. I've seen some stuff come through. Mr. J-Star, I will not let you even start to sarcastically slander the PlayStation 4 tape. PlayStation 4 tape was the best part of that box. And the box is important, damn it.
Yeah.
Marzi points out that the PlayStation 5 controller works on the PS3, but not the PS4. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. It works with a handful of games on the PS3. Not all of them.
Demon Souls?
Probably.
That's so weird. Why does it do that?
Nobody knows.
Does the PS5 controller work on PC?
I haven't tried. But I do have a USB-C port on my PC, so I can find out.
We can find out. And Mr. J-Star says, what is your opinion about the price of games and your opinion on if manufacturers force us into buying a new console every 5 to 10 years? This is something we talked at length before.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it quickly. Nine, what are your thoughts?
Well, back to what we were saying. It's been a long time since we've had a price hike on games. They've been $60 for a long-ass time now. 2 generations, PS3, PS4. Yep. That's 13 years-ish, 15 years, something like that. PlayStation 3 and Xbox were 8 years. And then we got just shy of 7 out of this one. So yeah, call it 15 years. So for 15 years, games have been $60 without a price hike from the previous $50 price hike. I don't think that's that bad. $70 is a lot for some games, but not every manufacturer is on that bandwagon yet.
I don't think we're going to see as many $70 games as we think. I think, if you're buying a AAA game, yeah, expect $70. But I think with a lot of other games that are trying to have shorter development cycles, and maybe if we get in more games that are like Miles Morales on PlayStation 5,
yeah,
you might see more $50 titles. You might see $40 titles and stuff. So hopefully, instead of buying the name of a game, like if it's a Resident Evil 3 remake that's only 4 hours long, Capcom would be cool and be like, well, our game didn't require that many resources, so here it is for $50.
Yeah.
But that game you're probably playing for the multiplayer, which
nobody
whatever if you're into that. Opinion on manufacturers forcing us into buying new consoles every 5 to 10 years.
I mean, it's the advancement in technology. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I had the 64, I had the SNES, I had the Genesis, I had the GameCube, PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360. I mean, I've had them all. Like, it's if you want better quality games in terms of like visuals and things you can do in it, you've got to stay with the times. You can't just sit. Like, don't get me wrong, I would still play my SNES if it worked with my TV, but it doesn't, so I can't.
So I get that mini dog HDMI out.
Yeah.
I got it.
But that's my opinion. I think if you want to stay relevant in the gaming industry, you got to move on with the times and stay on top of technology, because technology gets better every single day.
I agree with that point. I mean, it's no different than phones.
Yeah.
And phones are worse. Like, hey, every year it's
everybody's got a brand new phone.
It's a new thing.
Yep.
With consoles, it is. Yeah, I mean, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are working on new stuff all the time, and if console needs to be updated or hardware needs to be changed to get what they want to do and try and change the industry a little bit, that's fine with me. It doesn't even feel that bad. I mean, the mid-grade upgrades I'll buy every 3 years. It doesn't worry me. That's what I always say to somebody who's like, I'm a person who's well into the video game industry, whether I'm writing about it or I'm doing this show, whether I'm streaming it, whatever. Yeah. I'm a person who's in the industry. I use these consoles basically every day, just about all of them every day. Anytime they update them, I'm going to get the new thing, so I'm on top of whatever's going on.
Right.
So,
same.
I know my case is a little different, but if you look at the Xbox, you didn't have to upgrade.
No,
you could just keep the Xbox.
You got a year before you got to upgrade. And that's probably a good thing, because getting them consoles right now is hard to do.
Someone called me and they were like, "Hey, I saw you help for some other friends get consoles. Can you help me find both an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5?" I just started laughing. I'm like, "What? These guys? What are you talking about? Find these things?" Ugh. So
yeah, you can get them on eBay right now for about $1,500.
Yeah, I'm trying again to find them for friends. I told you, I'm a first responder.
First responder.
I know it's a bad analogy to make, but I'm doing it.
It is.
Okay. So my thoughts on the PlayStation 5. Since we're going to spend a lot of talking about PlayStation 5 since we both have them. But again, if you're in chat, if you have questions about the Xbox Series X, or PlayStation 5,
go for it.
Feel free to ask. Just throw them out. Talk amongst yourselves. Whatever. You're good people. I know you are.
Good people.
PlayStation 5. I have my PlayStation 5 standing up.
Yeah.
I think it looks better standing up anyway.
I agree.
I don't like the laying down of it. It kind of looks like a spaceship that hasn't finished. When it's laying down.
Yeah. It just looks like it fell over. Like, it looks like it's supposed to stand up.
It looks like something sat on it.
Yeah, it really does. Because it's got this weird dip in the center, like a Pringles chip.
Yeah, like I'm looking at mine now, and I'm like, I don't like how you look.
I mean, the first thing my wife said when she came downstairs was like, that thing is fugly as hell.
Yeah. I'm just,
It's not an attractive console.
I'm not impressed by how it looks, but I didn't buy it because of how it looks.
Nope.
At the end of the day,
I bought for what it's inside. It's not the outside that counts.
Yeah, but I have to see the outside, and it's fucking messing with my head. So it's fine. The kickstand at the bottom, not kickstand, the base. Someone in chat said kickstand. J-Star did. The base, I did not expect. I don't remember seeing pictures of that.
Oh yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, it's in every press release about the console.
I mean, I must have seen it a million times.
Because it's the first time they've ever done it.
Yeah,
they were making a huge splash about it.
Just didn't think about it. But turning that thing and twisting it to get the key out and everything, or the screw for it, I was like, what the fuck is this? what is this Indiana Jones ass shit that I have to go through to get the fucking screw so it'll sit in here? It confused me for a while.
And you only need the screw if you're going to stand it up. If you're laying it down, you don't need the screw.
Mine's screwed. It is screwed in.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I love the controller.
Oh, the controller's great. It's
I love
ugly.
the controller.
It's ugly, but it's great.
It is ugly. I don't like how it looks. Again, the outside sucks. The inside's great. Do I have my... Where's the PlayStation 4 controller? I guess the thumbsticks... I haven't touched this in a while. I guess the thumbsticks are about as far apart as they should be for both.
They're a little bit wider on the PS5, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. But I love the PlayStation 5 controller. I don't hate that like the buttons aren't colored like PlayStation 4 stuff. I like that they're all matching now. Like that's grown on me. I don't love the two-tone-ness. Are you measuring it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't love the two-tone-ness of it.
I think they're exactly the same.
I don't like how the lights line up. The other thing I don't like are the small menu and share buttons.
Yeah, they're tiny. They're so tiny.
But I like them better than like the flush ones on the PS4.
Yeah, I can find them quicker. Even though they're smaller, they're raised up more so I can find them. And they feel more rigid. Like they click like they're supposed to. Unlike on the PS4, it's like this feels like I'm pushing something into the dirt.
The button. Yeah, agreed.
One thing I did forget to mention, I love the mute button on the controller. That's a
like
fantastic. That's just thank you. That's all I wanted.
Thank you.
That's all I wanted.
How about just not have a microphone in the controller?
There's that too.
The haptic feedback stuff for the triggers, though.
That's so cool.
Did not expect to be as impressed as I was by them. Did not expect to be impressed. Oh, no, you're
That's because we're doing it over Discord. If I turn it back up, you get that horrible feedback, Dennis. So you make a decision.
If you go to Discord, right click my screen.
I already did.
Oh, you can lower yourself. Did you do that?
God damn it, Gage.
Hey, I'm just trying to put on a good
lowering myself is not going to do anything but make me quieter to you.
Raise me up. Right click that bitch.
I did. You are. There you go.
You see there? Boom. What's up, everybody? Gage is on the show now. What were we talking about? Haptic feedback controller.
Yeah.
The haptic feedback stuff.
Hold on. Keep going. Keep talking. I made it too loud. Shit.
It's awesome. It's so good. I'm gonna talk over your follies. It's so good. I didn't like when I played Spider-Man. I didn't notice it as much in Spider-Man.
Right.
Did you say wait or right?
No, I said right.
Okay. Didn't notice much of Spider-Man. Like I can definitely feel that there is something there. Like when you swing the web and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can feel them vibrate when things go wrong or you're using the venom attacks, whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me until I played Bugsnax.
Oh Jesus!
That something is actually going on. In Bugsnax, you have a camera.
Yeah.
And when you pull the right trigger to take a picture, there's resistance.
It like snaps when you take a picture, doesn't it?
It fights you.
Yeah.
You have to really want to take that picture.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how, like, I was like, that's when it opened my eyes. I was like, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
There's a technology here that I was not ready for.
Right. So
go ahead.
For me, it was playing Astro's Playroom. And have you played that at all yet?
I have not.
Dude, I'm about to get the platinum in it.
Really?
It's dumb easy platinum, but it's just an easy Mario game. That's all it is, right? It's a super simple easy Mario game, but the fucking controller, it does this demo when you play the game for the first time to demonstrate all the features of the controller. Well, I'm sure you remember Astro's thing on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
The VR Playroom or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You could shake the controller and hear them running around inside the controller and that shit. Well, now, when they're in the controller, the little robots are in the controller, if you tilt the controller side to side, it feels like they're falling inside the controller from one side to the other.
See, the Switch does that.
That's fucking crazy.
It is a little crazy.
Like, and then when you find something out in the world, like an artifact, and you zoom in on it, it does like you were saying with Bugsnax. It gives you resistance to zoom in on things. And I was like, this is insanity. Like, this is wacky. Crazy.
Because you and I...
Yeah,
I've been telling people this ever since I heard this was going to have haptic feedback. You and I have been to all these gaming conventions.
Yeah.
We've seen all this technology where they're like, we have haptic feedback in our thing. And I'm like, okay, sure, let's try it. Let's try it. Like, this is like, gimmicky and garbage.
It vibrates all over. Cool.
Yeah, awesome. No one cares. No one's gonna buy your stupid vest for $2,000. Whatever. No one cares.
No.
And then when PlayStation said we're gonna have haptic feedback, I'm like, here we go. Here we fucking go. And I think this year, because of all the COVID and stuff that happened, it hurt Sony talking about haptic feedback for this thing. Because if people would have gotten to try it out in the summer,
there'd be nothing but chatter about this.
Oh my god, that would have been the only thing I could have talked about.
Yeah.
Like, okay, listen, like, look at the controller. It looks different, right? It's weird. You have to fucking use it, because the fucking feedback in it is like any other thing I've used in a controller.
Yeah.
It's wacky.
And when Sony was saying, like, you'll be able to, like, feel the difference between walking in dirt and walking in water and walking in stuff and raindrops and stuff, I was like, I don't believe that shit. And then I'm playing Astro's Playroom.
Talk about with the thing they wanted to do, but never actually comes.
And then I'm playing Astro's Playroom, and I'm like, oh my god, this feels like I can feel individual raindrops on every single aspect of this controller. This is the most insane thing. Like, I want to tear this thing down and see what's inside of it, but I'm afraid to, because I'm afraid I might lose parts.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know where all these
Astrobots are actually going to fall out of this thing.
Yeah. Like, I'm scared. It's the first time I've been scared to dismantle something.
The Nintendo Switch, the Joy-Cons have a similar technology like you're talking about with the Astro, and I don't know if it's not exactly haptic feedback, but it does have something, right? Are you noticing dirt on the back of your controller?
Yeah.
Yeah, so am I. Like, I just saw it. I'm like, wow.
Like, I picked it up to see if there's, like, screw holes anywhere. There's not a single screw hole in this bitch.
Anyway, the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons have similar stuff inside the controller. You know, they're known for their gimmicky kind of stuff that only Nintendo does. No one fucking cares about it.
No.
It was cool, and I won't even say cool. It was in 1-2 Switch. That's where you saw it the most. Outside of that, who gives a shit? No one cares. Sony does it. Sony did it right. Sony did it in a fucking way that makes me impressed. I expect Nintendo to do some shit like this.
It's crazy.
Oh my god. The camera pushed back, like dying. I had to want to take the picture.
Right. Well, and
also,
go ahead. No, you go.
I was going to say, someone in chat, I won't say who because I'm not giving this person recognition, said mouth hole in the fucking chat. And we don't say mouth hole around here. It's not what this channel's about. It's not what we do.
Yeah, so back to the video I was talking about where the guy where I told you the haptic feedback works on all the different guns in Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. So, like, he started with your basic weapons. He was using, I can't remember what automatic rifle, but he was using an automatic rifle. And his finger was, like, bouncing back and forth up and down while he was pulling the trigger for full auto mode.
That seems like a lot, though.
Yeah, it's a little much. When he was using a sniper rifle, like a bolt-action sniper, he pulled the trigger, it stopped, and you had to squeeze through the retention, and it shot his finger back up like the recoil of the gun. I was like, that's fucking crazy cool.
Wait until, like, they bug out the control and they program too much feedback in it and break someone's fucking finger.
Probably.
Or they just forget, they brick it somehow in a game, and when they develop it and they ship it, like, you can't push the controllers. They set it to 100% resistance.
Yeah.
It can't be.
It's locked. It's locked in place. But this is going to be cool for, like, racing games especially too. Yeah. Like gas and brake being mounted to the triggers. That's going to feel so much better, especially for people who use control.
Gran Turismo to see.
Oh god, I don't want to have to play Gran Turismo.
Fucking Gran Turismo.
I hate racing sims.
Anything else you want to talk about, controller, console wise?
No, I think the UI's better. The PlayStation Store is embedded in the console now. It's not a separate app, which is good. So that makes loading the store so much faster.
Yeah.
It's just nice because the PlayStation Store on PS4 is just trash.
It's a slow loading store. It gives me the opportunity to go, do I really need this?
Yeah.
Do you really have to have this?
Right.
So hopefully I get those thoughts out. But now
overall, I think the console is better than the PS4, but not without its faults.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. So before we get into, like, the games of it all, does having this feel like you've stepped into next gen?
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
And that goes to the first game I played, which we'll get into.
Well, you and I have both been playing different games on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5, sorry. I would like to start with Astro's Playroom.
Okay. I can start with that.
Go ahead.
You want to start with that? So Astro's Playroom, the game actually takes place inside the console. Like the whole theme of the game is inside the console.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's gimmicky, but you don't. It's not like in your face kind of stuff. So the whole theme behind the Astrobots is that they're inside the controller or they're inside the console. That's Sony's shtick with it, right? So the premise of the game is you're collecting puzzle pieces and artifacts, and the artifacts are PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4 peripherals and consoles. So you find them. There's 2 in each level, and then 3 in the final section for each world. There's 4 worlds, and you find the puzzle pieces and stuff throughout. It's a very simple, very easy platforming game. But man, is it a lot of fun. And I think it's mostly because of the controller.
Okay.
The controller gives you feedback on everything. Like Sony went above and beyond to make sure that everybody knows this is what the controller can do.
And is this more of like just a tech demo for the controller, or is it like...
I think it's more for the controller.
Okay.
It's definitely more for the controller. Now, granted, the game is pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like blow your mind pretty. There's not really any crazy physics or anything going on in the game. It's a very simple Mario-type platforming title. Point A to point B, collect the coins, and literally PlayStation coins.
Oh.
But you actually use those coins for something.
Oh, okay.
And then when you collect the artifacts in every level, they have a hub room in the main hub area of the game where they put those things on display and you can interact with them. So you can go up and smack the PlayStation 2 and the disc tray will open up. And it's just gimmicky, but it's cool. And then there's what's they called it? It's like a gumball machine kind of thing that you use the coins on. And you put 100 coins in and you get one of those little plastic egg things that break apart. But you're the robot and you have one hand on the lever to pull it down, and it's really easy to just grab it and pull it, and then the trigger stops. And then you got to pull through to crank it like a real casino machine.
Okay.
It's really, really cool. And then the other hand catches the ball, and you have to smash the ball in your hand. And it's got resistance on it, like you're actually trying to crush something. It's so cool. It's so wickedly cool. Now I've been playing this one the most out of everything I have for this thing. Because my kids liked it, my wife likes it. It's just a fun all-around game. Some of the controls are a little bit wonky, especially on some of the different suits that the robot gets.
Okay.
But overall, it starts raining, and the little dude pops up an umbrella out of the top of his head, and you can feel the individual raindrops hitting on every side of the controller. Rain's heavier, the vibrations in the controller are heavier. If it's light rain, if thunder strikes off close to you, you feel the thunder strike on one side of the controller. It's just... Sony's tech demo is for the controller, not for the console. And it just blows my mind that this controller is this advanced.
Hell yeah.
And when I say it feels like there's water drops hitting all over the controller, I mean, I'm serious. It feels like there's water drops hitting on individual points of the controller. And I know that's hard hard.
Wild.
You have to play it, dude.
I'll play this week.
Play it. And if you want to feel the rain effect, go to Memory Meadows. That's where the rain's at. Just start there. Because you can start at any of the 4 worlds.
I hate rain, so we'll see if it makes me hate it.
It's so cool, though.
But that's a free game that comes with the console, so we don't need to worry about rating that one.
Nope. Everybody's going to get it.
That one I haven't played yet. I was wrapped up with Spider-Man, which I'll get to here in a bit. I'm excited to try it out, though.
It's a lot of fun. I did not expect to have fun with the game, and I just got sucked in. And I
didn't expect to like this at all.
I didn't. I was like, I'm just going to delete this, and then I was like, I better play it first, see what it's about. And I just got sucked in. I sat down for 2 hours the first time I played it.
Well,
it's crazy. It's a ton of fun.
I'm glad he had fun with it.
So you've been playing Miles Morales, huh?
So I'm going to end with Miles Morales because that's the one I played the most. So I'm going to talk about Bug Snacks first.
Oh, you're going to talk about Bug Snacks, okay.
Bug Snacks, because I don't have a ton of time with it, so I can't give a
break into it.
Yeah. Bug Snacks, though, is silly. It's funny, like Aqua was funny. It's the characters are lovable. The voice acting is great. There is a dark overtone to it with the island. And I haven't really found like the heart of the game yet, or I guess it's heart of the game's fine. But I've seen people talk about it online. Like, I saw a tweet, and I hope it's not a spoiler, but it didn't seem like one, where it's like, parents, if your kids are playing Bug Snacks, don't let them play the last mission. I'm like,
Really?
I wonder what happens. But yeah, I mean, but everyone knows Bug Snacks. You go to the island that's got weird food that's like also insects, and the people there eat the food, and they start turning into food, and that's as much as I know about the game. That's as much as they tell you about the game. That's as much as I'm going to tell you about the story of it.
That's more than I knew.
The gameplay though is fun. It's smooth to move around in. The world looks great for a game that's like not like a AAA game.
Right.
Something Young Horses did it, and again they did Octodad, so it's not like
So it is the same people that did Octodad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be funny and silly and kind of weird anyway. I played it on stream, and within the first 10 minutes, I was laughing my ass off because a fucking bug snack stole my trap and just started flying away with it. I'm like, what the fuck? This fucking bird that's shaped like a kiwi just fucking left my thing. What the fuck happened? I'm trying to catch these damn ass strawberries that look like ants. This fucking bird comes through and takes my thing. And then I had to lead a strawberry in a hamster ball with I had to also lead I covered the hamster ball with strawberry in it. It was in chocolate and led a coconut thing to somebody else, and it's such a weird idea. But I like it so much. I do like it. And then you have to specifically feed the grumpus. That's what they're called there, the grumpus, I think. The people of the world here. You have to feed them the bug snacks themselves, and you're doing chores for them, obviously. And I mean, it's a video game. You're doing stuff for other people all the time.
Right.
No one can do anything for themselves. But it's fun, man. It's free, obviously, on PlayStation Plus. But even if you don't buy it there, if you buy it on PS4 or have to get it later, I say get it. It's awesome. It's a play it now nerd game. It's great. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. You downloaded it, right?
Yeah, I downloaded it. I haven't started it yet.
Dude, it's great. I know that you were like, oh fuck, this game looks so stupid.
It does. It just looked. There was nothing about this game that I was like, I want to play this game. It just looks fucking dumb as hell.
Now, and I'll tell you, when you get in the game, it still looks stupid, but it makes it makes so much sense. It's one of the first characters you meet's name is Crumbly, and I'm like, this poor bastard. But it's so fucking fun. It's funny and it's fun. Phil, you spent a lot of time with this guy named Philbo, and
that's the depressed guy, right?
He's a depressing dude, but he's got some charm to him. No one likes him, but I kind of like him. I think he's a nice guy. I want him to have friends. No one likes this guy. He's a self-appointed mayor, but he calls himself the mayor. But everyone knows he's not actually the fucking mayor. He just wears a sash and says it. God, it's so good. Oh, sorry, Jay. Sorry, I see that question there. I'll finish up the bug sex thing. I sorry we missed that. Bug sex is great, and I think Bug Snacks is gonna win awards this award season. I think it's gonna be in contention for some pretty good awards.
Octodad won some awards the year it came out.
Yeah, I think so. But again, this is a game that utilizes the haptic feedback well. It utilizes portions of the PS5 well. It's no wonder it's PlayStation 5 or PlayStation Plus game for PlayStation 5 because it shows off the console in a great way.
Right.
It's a great introduction into something different and new. It's unique because it's not like the games that were. I mean, it's not the Call of Duty repeats. It's not the Assassin's Creed repeats we're used to. It's not a remake of an old game, right? It's just something different. It's fresh.
Right.
It's great. I like it.
Yeah.
This might have a shot if Fall Guys doesn't hold on to best indie game of the year. I think this might fucking take it.
Okay. That's fair.
So
Anything else?
Play it, nerd.
Play it, nerd.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. It's my other game.
Well, sorry. Let's talk about J Star's question real quick.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
J Star in the chat says, "What's the opinions on EA Play and these other publishers doing these one-off services for a month like they do with the TV movie streaming platforms?" I welcome this stuff. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Because it's a good way for me. If I do EA Play stuff, even I'm a person who's all about Game Pass. I love Game Pass. Game Pass is a great service that has EA Play included in it.
Game Pass is literally the best thing that came out of the last generation.
Right. It's fucking great. But So I like that kind of stuff. Even though I wasn't a Game Pass subscriber, I would probably still have EA Play. I had it anyway. I play a ton of EA games already. I play a lot of sports games. I played all the shooters they put out. And then for just like, I mean, it's $5 a month for like EA Play. So just to jump in there for the 30 days, try out whatever game they've got in there or whatever the new game is that they just put in there. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see an issue with that. I wish more people did it. Yeah, if I had all of Activision's catalog or all of like Blizzard's catalog or something, I mean, I guess they're under the same umbrella now. If I had like a form, well, I guess
Ubisoft catalog, Activision catalog,
Ubisoft
Gearbox catalog.
Yeah, Ubisoft's a little more expensive. It's like $100 a year, I guess. But I think you have to buy it all together. I don't know. I might be wrong on that. But I'm into it. Do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm playing enough games anyway. If you could just have them all show up in a library together on one day, I'm like, fine, good. I don't need to have one full game for $60 I might not like. You know.
Yeah. Plus, it's easier for me to sell this to like the budget, right?
Right.
Because we budget every month, so it's easier for me to budget. Hey, I could spend $100 a year and play an ass amount of games, or I could spend $60 every month and get a game. What benefit does that have? I'm saving a shit ton of money by not spending $60 every month, or $70 in this case now with new consoles. So for me, it just makes more sense to save money and play the games that way. And if I really like it and it's going to come off of there, I spend $55 because you get 20% off.
I think they're great ideas. I welcome that.
I love it.
Model. If like game streaming isn't going to take off, like I think it will. I think game streaming is going to take off, so I think it's going to be a thing anyway.
Yeah.
I think we're fine. What do we have? 2 other games that we need to talk about?
Yeah.
Do you want to do Demon Souls first?
I can do Demon Souls real quick.
Go ahead, and we'll bookend it with Spider-Man.
So Demon Souls. It is just as I remembered it. It's relentlessly difficult, just as it used to be. Mm-hmm. The game itself looks absolutely amazing. That was my first game I played on the PlayStation, and it looks so incredibly good. I mean, just ridiculously good. I was blown away in like 10 seconds. Just loading the character creation screen up blew me away. I was like, man, this is some crazy ass shit. Ray tracing looks so good. HDR makes the game look so good. It's ridiculous. That stuff aside, the game is exactly like it was in 2009, I think, when it originally came out on the PS3. I mean, it was a lot of fun back then. It's a lot of fun right now. I'm a little bit better at it now than I used to be.
I don't know.
Because I've had plenty of practice, but you know, I it's not without its challenges for sure. But to that note, it is not the same trophy list. Blue Point made their own trophy list for this one, so it's a much easier platinum than previously than the PS3 version.
So do you have to grind out that one thing this time?
No.
Whatever stone?
The Pure Blade Stone? No.
Sure.
You don't have to grind that out. So there's no weapon achievements in this one. In the first one, it was get this level weapon maxed out, this level weapon, this type weapon maxed out, that stuff. Each different type of weapon upgrade, you needed to max it out. And that's why it was so difficult, because there was one item that had like a 0.001% drop rate. It was ridiculous. This one, they nixed that, and in place of that, they put like boss challenges in. Okay. So like beat this boss without killing any of the ads, or beat this boss without getting him to fall down.
Interesting.
That kind of stuff. And then there's some quality of life improvements. So in the original game, if you filled up your inventory while you were out scrounging about, working through the level, you either had to drop something in your inventory to pick up the new weapon, or travel back to the main hub, drop your stuff off, fight through the entire level again, because there's no checkpoints in this game like there is in Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's the level from beginning to boss, beginning to boss, beginning to boss. There's no mid-level checkpoints.
Super Mario.
Basically. And so now they added the send to storage feature. So if you come across stuff that you want to pick up, you can send it directly to your storage. The only downside to that is now you have to go back to the storage in your Nexus to be able to try out a new weapon if you pick it up and send it to storage. But it's dumb fast. It's like 3 seconds to go from the middle of the level back to the main hub and then back. Like, it's super fast.
Right.
Because this game had horrendous load times on the PS3.
Yeah, you're talking about like 2 minutes or something
Yeah,
for some load times.
sometimes you'd sit there for 30 seconds. Sometimes you'd sit there for 2 minutes. It was bad. But this game just runs so well. It's so smooth. All the characters and everything have been updated. It's all new music based off the original score.
So they just redo the score? They
redid the score. Yeah, they got 120 musicians to come in and rescore the entire thing. It's the original score, but it's all recomposed. So it's still the same music, but there's more depth to it.
Okay.
And it's so good. Man, it's so good. I love it. I'm loving every minute of it.
Is this what you wanted out of a Demon's Souls remake then?
In terms of gameplay, yeah. I wanted that initial trophy challenge. So now I'm not as motivated to get the platinum again.
Oh. You'll do it though, right?
I will do it because it's easier.
Yeah.
It won't take me as much. You can do it. I'm going to have to do it in 2 playthroughs, but you could literally do this in 1 playthrough this time.
Is the Demon's Souls community up in arms about this whole trophy thing?
I've been avoiding it.
Oh, okay.
Because spoilers, I don't want to. Well, not spoilers, because I beat the game, right?
I don't know if they put new stuff in. I don't know.
But, well, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But I don't want the negativity that comes with those kind of communities.
The purist
the
Demon's Souls
purist,
people.
exactly. Those kind of people drive me crazy. That being said, there has been discovered a door that was not in the original game behind a hidden wall that was not in the original game that says it's locked. And they added a photo mode, so you can go around the other side, pan out on the camera, and you can see an item that's behind this door. Now, nobody's figured out how to get to it yet or unlock the door. So that's one thing. So people believe that if there's that one thing, then there might be some more new stuff coming. And Bluepoint made a little bit of new stuff in the Shadow of Colossus remake on the PS4. Right? PS4? Yeah.
Yeah.
They added a couple small things to that, so that's what people are thinking they did with this. They just kind of added a couple small touches to make it their own thing.
Okay.
But overall, I'm loving
picture
it.
Of the cat?
What's that?
Are you mad they took out that picture of the cat?
What are you talking about?
There's, I guess, in the original Demon's Souls game, there's like a cat picture that is like I don't know if it's a buff or something that you can get, a perk or something, but it's a picture of just a cat's face. So now in the new game though, it's like
okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, now in the new game they took the cat picture out and just made it like a outline of a drawing of a cat instead of
the cat. Yeah.
So you're not mad about that?
No, that's a UI improvement. I don't care about that.
Come on, Nine. You gotta be mad about the cat thing.
I don't care about
Everyone
cats.
Else is.
I don't care about cats. Anyway, so you want to close it out with Miles Morales, or do you have any questions?
I was just gonna ask if you had a point to review it. If not, we'll come back to it another time.
I am not at that point yet.
Okay.
Where I stopped the other night during the stream is where I'm still at because I've been playing Astrobot.
I have been checking in on some other people streaming the game and seeing like what their thoughts were. So it kind of lining up with everybody. It's reviewed really well too. I think it's got it had like a 93 the other day on Metacritic.
It's doing really, really well.
What did we say? What did we think it was going to get?
So it was at 88, I think, 87, something like that.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Because I think we put it at like an 89-ish, right?
Yeah, I said it would hit maybe 91 as the highest.
It might have
so 89 is the original Metacritic score for Demon's Souls.
The
PlayStation 5 is sitting at 92, and I pegged it for 91. I said it might go up 2 points and get 91, but it apparently went up 3 points.
That puts it up at like one of the best reviewed games of the year right now.
Yeah, because it's on Metacritic's must play list.
Of course it is.
I mean, there's only like there's only like 10 new games right now, so for the consoles.
So to end the show,
Miles Morales,
Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I have 100% of this game
already.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't have all the trophies, unfortunately. The trophies take 2 playthroughs, which is a little annoying because I don't like it when trophies or achievements are like, yeah, you have to beat it on new game plus to get another one. Like, I don't want to have to play the whole fucking thing again just to get one at the end, though. You know what I mean?
You can just rush it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. It's a short game, which is fine. Which is also part of the reason why I was able to 100% it so quickly because it is a short game.
It's a short game, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to play it. Yeah, and you'll love it too. I played it on the 60 frame per second mode. I didn't play it on. I guess that might be performance mode, but I didn't play it on like
performance mode, yeah.
The ray tracing mode or anything. I'll go back and do that on my new game plus, I guess. Playing that game at a locked 60 frames, swinging as Spider-Man at a locked 60 frames.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Holy shit, dude! It's just it's otherworldly compared to the other Spider-Man game, and it's like other games in general that aren't 60 frames. Like, I'm not a fidelity guy. I can see a difference between 30 and 60 frames just fine. Like most people can. And I've never been like, oh, it doesn't play at 60 fine? Whatever. I'll play it at 30. I'll play it at whatever it sits at. If it fluctuates, whatever. Lock 60 for this game? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, it's so good. That's just how the game runs. It runs great.
Yeah.
As short as a game as it is, every character in the game feels like a lived-in, like a character that lives in the city,
right.
A character that matters, a character that's important to the story. Everyone gets like a worthy backstory or worthy story points to be influential in Miles as a character, Miles' life, and things like that. They all have meaning. The updates that Insomniac did to the city of New York and like where Miles lives compared to where like Peter lived, because Miles lives in Harlem and in this game, and they redid it up to feel like a lived-in Harlem that was unique to where Peter's homestead was.
Mm-hmm.
And Harlem feels like its own character. The community feels like there's like, you know, protesters or stuff. There's like people in the streets dancing and things, just having like, you know, community get-togethers. Like people are doing like day-to-day stuff in this. Harlem feels like its own character, and it's great.
Yeah,
I love that bit. The gameplay, phenomenal. It's a lot of the same gameplay from Spider-Man on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So not much change there, but introducing like
Miles' powers
and making it more, and like because he can go invisible, you know, he can use the venom shocks and things.
Mm-hmm.
Made it fantastic. Like it made Miles feel like Miles instead of Spider-Man, so it made a difference there. But at the end of the day, I was still kind of like just trying to punch harder, you know, and trying to like do my Spider-Man combos because that's what I was used to. I've played that game more times than I'd like to admit. It's great. I think this game could be up there for like game of the year. I'm not gonna rate it that high. I do think it's fucking fantastic though.
Fair.
Holy great. The story is emotional. It's sad at times. It's happy plenty of times. I was smiling ear to ear when doing some things as Miles that I like knew as Miles as a character, even from being like a fan of Spider-Verse, seeing that stuff in this world, or being a Miles that's kind of close to that, having his own style, his own like hip hop feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all great. The sad moments in the story, it's predictable storytelling, especially for superhero stuff.
Yeah. It's
not like so was the first Spider-Man game though, so neither thing were brave, whatever. But it was great. Even like there's a mission that doesn't unlock until you beat the game, and then you get like an extra side mission stuff, and that's fantastic. And it bookends the game so well, and it's like that's one of the sad moments of the game. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome! Wow, everything's cool about this. Everything's great about this game.
Yeah.
There are some technical problems with it though. I was talking to you about how like some of my combat challenges were already done.
Yeah. Yeah. You told me that.
Yeah, which is weird. There was some times where I tweeted up at these, and now I'm forgetting them all. You have to use the touchpad to swipe to pull up a menu.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always work.
I had that problem with The Witcher.
Yeah, it just doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work. Yeah.
But the thing is, Spider-Man lets you like program the left and right D-pad button as different functions. So I can make it that swipe function. So as like one of my D-pad buttons, so it worked. But also you can change it to like one of your combos. So instead of like having to push 3 buttons at once, you can just push the left button for accessibility, which is cool. I didn't use it that way, but it was cool. One thing that bugged me. There's a trophy in the game to get 100 combo.
Oh my god.
And it doesn't seem like a lot. I only on my playthrough though, I only did it like 3 times.
But it never triggered.
Was that?
It never triggered.
It triggered when I did it, so it worked when it should.
Okay.
But there's a lot of times when I would get to like 89 and like I would lose the combo somehow. There was a time where I had a high combo and I knocked a player out, a enemy out to go to another enemy, but the enemy was in like a shooting animation and a knockout animation and still shot me the full clip and ruined my combo. I was like, what the fuck, dude? He's out. What the hell's going on here? I timed that perfectly because you have to wait till the last second to break their gun to knock them out and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that and he still shot me. What the fuck, brother? You're like, come on, man. So that kind of stuff was annoying. But there's some technical hiccups here and there, but it's not anything that's ruined my experience with it.
The best one that I've seen is the people flying around as different objects. Have you seen that one?
I have seen those. I've seen
the dumpster. The dumpster was just hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that video. I've seen the brick and I've seen the light pole.
I've seen the heat lamp.
Okay.
Like those outdoor heat lamps. I've seen a puddle of water. Okay. Or not? No, it was not a puddle of water. It was splashing milk.
Splashing milk.
Yeah. A brick. I think the brick is the one that started the whole thing. And then I've seen the dumpster, like full size dumpster, and the collision was the dumpster's collision, not Miles Morales' collision. It was hilarious.
The game's great. The style of it, the feel of it, the story, like the suits that Miles get, they're awesome. I love it. You get an animated one like you had in the first Spider-Man game, which looks cool. The Spider-Verse skin I rocked the whole time. It was cool. His 2020 skin, he looks like a member of Daft Punk.
Yeah,
is fucking dope. He gets great suits.
Well, the first one had great suits. Not a lot, but
the first one had 44 suits.
Yeah, but a lot of them were not great.
A lot of them are garbage. Spider-Man's got a lot of bad suits though.
Yeah.
And Miles hasn't been a character that long.
No.
But man, I loved it. I fucking loved it. It's a play it now game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a game of the year game, but I think that's only because of how short it was, which is unfortunate. But if Insomniac was like, we're gonna take Spider-Man stories and like instead of developing a full-fledged Spider-Man game,
we're just gonna do these chapter size releases every now and then.
Yeah, we'll give you a Spider-Man versus like, Green Goblin. Here's a 10-hour game where your main overarching villain is Green Goblin, and then here's another one where it's fucking Electro or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's going on like that. Doing the same thing with Miles going forward. Doing same thing with like other Spider-Man characters. Like if Spider-Gwen had a story like this.
Spider-Gwen game. I'd play that.
That would be fucking. It'd be
I
awesome.
would play the hell out of that.
Because instead of this game feeling like a spin-off or something, it felt like a different comic book issue.
Yeah.
Like that connected with the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Yeah.
So it was great. Great.
Play it, nerd. Play it, nerd.
Play it, nerd. I'm 5 trophies from the platinum on that, so I'm gonna get that eventually.
I'm only a couple on Astro's Playroom.
A couple platinums coming up, everybody. Is that all we got to talk about?
That's all we got to talk about.
All right, everybody. That has been a couple games that we've played so far. Impressions, some reviews, our next-gen thoughts. Again, if you're here live with us, of course, we're about to play a game. Nine, what are we playing?
Probably Demon Souls.
Demon Souls.
That's weird.
We're gonna get that. We have that death counter ready to go. The death counter is working, so we're gonna be excited for that.
What are my deaths at? What are my deaths at? Do you remember what my deaths are at?
I think it's 2. Actually, you can just figure it out if we put the thing there.
I need to add a counter to there. Okay.
Yeah, we have 2 deaths. So everyone here hanging out in chat, we're gonna switch over to Demon Souls just here in a second. Everybody listening to the podcast at a later time, or as Dennis in the chat saying Nick Cage Spider-Man. Hell yeah, Spider-Man Noir. I'd like to play as that.
Oh, I'd play that.
But with Nick Cage
voicing
audio.
Yeah.
Everybody hanging out, listening to the podcast at a later time. This is the end of the show. Again, twitch.tv/birdcage_gaming, where you can listen to the show live. You can subscribe to the channel with your actual money if you're really cool, or if you're Amazon money, you take those Bezos bucks.
Bezos bucks. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know if that first month has ended yet, so if anyone who's subscribed with Prime that first month, it might be time to re-up because you have to do it manually.
It's close.
I don't know why.
It's close.
I think it is close. I don't know if it's actually been a month yet, though. But yeah, you can subscribe to the channel that way. Follow us, of course, to get the notifications. We have a Discord for you to check out.
Yep.
You can find that on the channel, twitch.tv/birdcage_gaming. But until next time, podcast people, Twitch people, we're changing over into a game right now.
Yep. I gotta get it pulled up, but...
Did you already end the show?
I ended the Oh, I forgot the tie out, didn't I?
You fucking. I was
That's
waiting
a
on
first. That's a
When I
first.
stop
Hold
talking,
on,
it's
hold
for
on,
you
hold
to
on.
go.
Hold
Oh,
on.
you're gonna record it now?
Okay, Gage. Say goodnight to the kids.
Good night, kids. You fucking. I can't believe.
I can't believe it. That's the first time in a year I've done
When
that.
I stop talking with the outro, you're supposed to ask me.
I know.
Or tell me.
I know.
The
Say
unwritten rule
goodnight
of the
to the kids,
podcast.
The one thing I'm responsible for every week.